Happy Thursday, everybody. The heresy for today is called Gnosticism. Now, Gnosticism was its own thing. It was its own separate Greek thought, but Christians kind of adapted it to meet their own theologies. Gnosticism, I think, is still pretty prevalent today. You can still hear a lot of Gnostic thought in today's theologians. It's still considered a heresy for most mainline denominations and the Roman Catholic Church, but there is still some, it still creeps in. It's not gone, and I think for good reason. I think they make a lot of compelling points, but there is some roadblocks in it, and there's roadblocks in our theology today. So we keep exploring all of this, but here's Gnosticism. If you would like to read some of the writings of Gnostics, there's this book, the New Testament. I think they sell it at Barnes & Noble. I know I got mine at Barnes & Noble. But just search on Amazon or Barnes & Noble, the New Testament. And it has some Gnostic writings in there. They're pretty out there. They're pretty extravagant, if you will. It's like more books of Revelation, if you're into that kind of stuff. And so it's an interesting read. I definitely see why they didn't put it in the Bible, but it's definitely food for thought. So what is Gnosticism? Well, Gnosticism basically is having knowledge. That's what it means. It's very much focused on our cerebral, about us understanding. It's not about experience. It's not about spirituality. It's much more about us understanding. That's how we get to heaven. So for Christian Gnosticism, not Greek Gnosticism, the material world is the creation of a lesser deity, so not the highest God. So we didn't have as Jesus would say, the Father didn't create the universe, or didn't create creation as we know it. That was not in the interest of that highest God. So here we're getting into multiple deities now. Monotheism is screaming out right now. And often this lesser deity was identified with the God of Israel as depicted in the Old Testament. So they weren't gods, so there's only one God, but there were other deities, which does go along with the Old Testament. There is no other God above God. So in the Old Testament, they were okay with having other gods, but there was no other God before that. And then we slowly moved into, no. There is only one God. So Christian Gnosticism then says some human beings have a divine element or nature within them. Maybe in modern days we might have heard it as the God element within us. They said that there's some cerebral development that they have. Just Google it. And then that some people have like God connections, where that's why some people have more spiritual experiences than others. It's pretty interesting, but it goes along the lines of what Gnostics were trying to say at the time. And that this divine element that we supposedly have is trapped in the body and matter and is slumbering and ignorant of its true divinity. So we have divinity within our bodies, but our bodies are limiting it. And that kind of goes against what we believe. As Lutherans, we believe that Jesus is in the flesh. That the presence of God makes something holy, not that our flesh is bad, and we need to escape it to become holy. No, when the presence of God is part of it, it makes it holy. So Jesus made humanity holy. Jesus made creation holy. God's creation of creation made it holy. So we're not trying to escape anything that's bad. Our bodies are good. Where in Gnosticism, our bodies are bad and we're trying to escape it. The divine element, and for Gnosticism, the divine element is rescued by learning secret knowledge. So this is how you kind of save yourself, how you try to escape this constraint of your body, and you do this by receiving knowledge, either by divine resources or through your own pursuit of knowledge. And Christ then came to impart this knowledge on people. So Jesus then brought the magical key to unlock our ability to release ourselves from our bad bodies, so that the true divine nature within us can be set free. So they saw Jesus as like a key that unlocked our true divinity. And then they say some Gnostics thought that Christ conveyed secret knowledge to the apostles. So the apostles then were able to spread this knowledge. And then it was then handed down orally. So it could be lost. This knowledge could be lost over time. It's not something that is continually happening. But Christ could continue to, reveal this knowledge through dreams or visions and stuff like that. So Gnosticism is basically, when you bring it down to it, we are our own saviors, but God gave us the tools to do it. And that goes completely against our own Lutheran understanding. It goes against Roman Catholic understanding. It is God who saves us. God doesn't give us the tools to save ourselves. No, God saves us. And that's what Gnosticism was basically about. And if you had any sort of issues or disabilities or anything like that, it really didn't lend itself to you. Where we know as Lutherans that God meets us where we are, God meets us in the shadows, God meets us in our vulnerabilities. That's where God is most prevalent in our lives. It's not in our glory, it's not in our knowledge, it's in our suffering, as Jesus showed us on the cross. So that's a little bit about Gnosticism. Tomorrow we will be talking about another heresy. See you tomorrow.